Everybody knows the war is over. Everybody knows the good guys lost. Everybody knows the fight was fixed. The poor stay poor, the rich get rich.
Hey everyone, it's me, the Nerdy Hero. We are here to do the review for Justice League. It's finally out. We get to talk about it, what the Rotten Tomatoes score is like, what the movie was like, and overall what I thought about it. Now, it came out last night, and I went to go see it in New York City. I went with, Eunice from World of Flash, Sam, which is from the Bat brand, and Steven from Everything DCU Comics on Instagram. And we all came together to meet up in New York City to watch it. By the way, Steven came all the way from Australia, too, so that was awesome. We got to spend the whole week in America. He's having a great time. We even did a giveaway for a fan to come and watch the movie with us. We ended up meeting two fans throughout the day. We met with Nick and we met with Kevin, two fans that were really cool to meet. They got to hang out with us for a little while. We went to go see the movie with Kevin, and he was ecstatic to meet us, and he enjoyed the movie just like we did. So let's get into the review, and like I just said, we enjoyed the movie. The Rotten Tomatoes score is like 30-something% at this point, and people are freaking out because honestly, they don't realize how Rotten Tomatoes works. But I'm not really going to get into how it works right now. So besides that, what my thoughts on the movie were, the flaws I saw, what I really enjoyed, what my friends were saying that they liked about the movie, because we all saw it together, so we all immediately started talking about it the moment the credits started rolling. By the way, those two post-credit scenes though, amazing. Better than a lot of post-credit scenes I've seen, not just in Marvel movies, but in all movies altogether. Alright, so, movie itself, where do I begin? I loved it. That's all I can say. I don't have anything else to say. I loved it. I've read some reviews, and I listened to some podcasts that talked about it, and basically they said that the characters are all fantastic, the story is a little flat, and the villain is the CGI villain that just does not look that good. And you know what? I agree with all of those, but not as much as it bothered them did it bother me. I actually really enjoyed it. Steppenwolf as a CGI character, he didn't have too much depth to him. They briefly mentioned what his goal was and why he's doing it, besides, like trying to gain favor back with Thanos, with Darkseid. So it's kind of like that. He's trying to do that. He's trying to take over the world. Typical villain stuff. It's not that deep of a character, but oh well. The story was cool. The action was cool. Now, one of my biggest pet peeves that I always talk about is the pacing of a movie. And with this movie being only an hour and 59 minutes, pretty much just 2 hours long, my biggest concern is is it going to be really choppy and really fast-paced editing that's going to just cut total scenes really short? And some reviewers were saying that it was doing that. And I watched the movie, and honestly, I could see a couple moments, mostly in the first half of the movie, where I felt like it was really choppy. Not even really choppy, just a little bit cut. And it didn't bother me though. I felt like the story was still moving along at a good pace throughout the whole time. I never felt like we were being rushed. Some shots would be like, you're down on the first floor or something, and next you're on the top floor or something. Like, it's really quick like that. But it didn't bother me. I still felt like the story was going at a good pace. Next is going to be the characters, all flawless. Ezra Miller's Flash was phenomenal, awesome. I like Cyborg's, Ray Fisher coming in as Cyborg and having this post-traumatic stress disorder with the fact that he lost all his limbs. Now he's this weapon thing that he doesn't even know what he is. That was really cool. I really liked watching him on screen, and him just the first thing you ever see him in, he's wearing a hoodie and he's in the apartment talking to his father, and that's I was really captivated by what he was saying. It was really interesting. You got Batman, Ben Affleck. This might be the last time we'll see Ben Affleck as Batman. I'm not sure. I'm watching the movie. I'm like, man, he's really good at Bruce Wayne and Batman. Too bad we may not see him again. Maybe we will. We don't know. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. No, nothing that he said. She was awesome. I was worried that the writing in this movie might make her a little less important, but nope, she came across just like the mother of the group. That's pretty much Aquaman. There's this one scene with Aquaman where I'm just kind of I'm watching him talk, and I don't want to say it, but it's the moment when he's sitting on top of the Bat car. I'll say it like that. When he's talking in this one scene, I'm like, something is off. I don't like it. I don't the writing here seems weird. Why would he say stuff like this? And then you see why, and it was an awesome moment, which reminds me of the humor in this movie. There's a lot of it, and it works, I think, a good percentage of the time, if not almost all the time.
60% of the time. It works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Obviously, with the DCEU movies, the humor was always lacking. They were much more serious in tone. This one, especially with like 30% of it being directed by Joss Whedon, with a lot of reshoots in the last few weeks of the movie because of the tragedy that happened with Zack Snyder's daughter and his family and all that. So we won't really get into that. We talked about the switching of directors plenty of times in the podcast already. So with this mix of directors, is there like a big difference in tonal shift that you can see? Not to me. I could see certain moments, certain scenes where I'm like, okay, that's a Joss Whedon scene, and most of these are Zack Snyder scenes. I'm not gonna talk about Superman because that's a spoiler. I don't want to talk about that much. I will say one thing, like Superman smiles. Yes. So I really, really enjoyed Superman. There's the whole thing about all the reshoots that they did with Superman. He had a mustache because he's filming Mission Impossible, so they had to CGI his mouth being shaven, and it doesn't look the greatest. I'm sorry. It's really distracting. It's really distracting. He has some really great scenes, and there's some up close shots with him, and I'm like, this is an awesome moment, but his mouth just looks so weird. But besides that, I love Superman in the movie. Everyone was awesome. The humor was great, but it didn't mess up with the seriousness of the tone. The movie was good. The pacing was a little choppy at certain points, but it didn't bother me, so I really enjoyed the movie. It really could have benefited from being 20 minutes longer at least. I wish there was. Some of the characters needed more development. I think Atlantis, we're used to Themyscira. Where Cyborg, there's not much to say about him except, the alien technology. Now he's like this. And the Flash, we have the Flash TV show. But I think when it comes to Atlantis, I feel like that got kind of shoved under the bus a little bit. It was just kind of out of nowhere. We're in Atlantis, and then all this stuff starts going on. And Aquaman's there. He just shows up, and you meet Mera, obviously. And, she was beautiful. And then they have this conversation. I'm not really gonna say what they talk about and what happens in the fight and all that. But I'm like, I feel like there could have been something else leading into this, kind of introducing us into this Atlantean world. Because, we didn't really have any introduction to it before. We're just kind of boom, we're underwater now and this stuff is happening. So I wish we would have gotten some more lead up into Atlantis. But that's one of my nitpicks. Plus the CGI was a little weak on the villain and on, Henry Cavill's face. But that's all nitpicks. The story was okay, it worked, and I had an awesome time. Basically, I was thinking about what am I going to give this movie. I think, I want to give it an 8, but I think it's a little too high. I'm going to go with 7.7. Because I was 7.5, 8 is somewhere around there. 7.7 is what I'm going to give it, guys. That's my review. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I can't wait to watch it again and again. Buy it on Blu-ray. I'm going to do all that stuff. This movie's great, guys. Make sure you check it out. Comment down below what you guys thought of the movie. If you're excited for it, if you've seen it, all that stuff. Watch out for spoilers, though, in the comments if you have not seen the movie, though. Remember, you can like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, guys, remember, keep it nerdy.
I don't recognize this world.
You don't have to recognize it. You just have to save it.